Big J, we got to ask Jay a question for you. It's actually from our good friend Doctor Zak from England. So he's heard you many times say in the videos that you love Mondays. So he wants me to ask you, um, before you were a full-time bodybuilder, going back even to the days when you work with your family in construction, did you look forward to Mondays back then? He knows you love Mondays now because you're living your dream and you're doing your passion every day. And he feels the same way because he's got his own gym over there and he loves Monday. He loves going to work all the
Yeah,
time.
because
But
he takes Sundays off.
okay,
Yeah, he
oh,
takes,
is he closed on Sunday?
yeah, I don't know if the gym's closed, or I know he takes Sundays off.
Only
Because I
one
was
day.
there,
Only one day a week. Okay. But most people coming to his gym, they hate Mondays, so they think he's crazy for loving Mondays, kind of like you. So
Yeah.
that's what he wants to know. He wants to know, did you always love
Well,
Mondays?
listen, I'll go back because remember, I started bodybuilding at 18, right? So I did the concrete work, right? And I was a student, through high school. And I honestly, listen, as a student, I hated Mondays because I would party my ass off on the weekends, right? So it was like to get back in the routine where I had to get up at, I think our school started at like 6:30 in the morning or something. We need to be there at 7 or whatever. So like I had to wake up super early to get to school and be ready for classes, and especially after partying all weekend, it'd be tough, because Saturday night I would drink in high school, right? Even though it was illegal, I did party a lot. So Mondays weren't always the best days, and even when I worked concrete with my brother's business through the summer vacations and all that, like, listen, yeah, we worked 7 days a week, so there was no like days where it's like, okay, this is Monday, and you and I had this discussion earlier. In my book, every day is the same. So I hate to label like, oh, it's Monday, Tuesday, because in Las Vegas, bro, like, I'm around people that, like, the weekends is dreaded in Las Vegas because that's when all the people come to Vegas, and all the people that I know work in the industry, like, oh, we have so much work to do. There's so many clients coming, or like we have to stay out super late. We have to entertain. Our venues are super busy. Which, listen, we like to see busy venues because that means more revenue. But at the same time, like, you take a breather after a Sunday and you're like, ah. And I know even here when I did go out or I do continue to go out and have a good time, we celebrate. Like Sundays and Mondays and Tuesdays are like some of the best nights to go out in Las Vegas. So you guys traveling to Vegas, man, like, those are some of the hottest nights. I mean, you get the weekend warriors that come on the Friday, Saturday nights. But honestly, it's not as fun as going out like Sunday night or Monday. Sunday at Dre's is awesome. They always have like hip hop night there, like if you're into music and that kind of stuff. But every day I also make this joke, every day is a Saturday, right? Because everyone looks at Saturday as like the ideal day of the week, right? It's the day off. But in corporate America, or real world America, like, yes, people look forward to the weekends because that's when they can do most of their other activities, their hobbies and that kind of stuff, because they don't necessarily work the Monday through Friday. I mean, stock exchange closes, certain businesses closes, but I love Mondays because everyone's like, okay, I'm gonna start fresh this week, right? No matter who it is, they always say, oh, diet starts Monday, this starts Monday, this. So that shouldn't be the dreaded day. No one's saying that on Friday, like, oh, I'm gonna start fresh on Friday, because they know they're gonna let loose for a weekend and whatever. And I know everything shuts down on a Friday, so I'm kind of just like, Fridays to me are like, this Friday I got on media and I'm like, man, Friday's actually a good day because I get a lot accomplished, right? But I asked you this question, okay, because you train at the Mecca bodybuilding. Let's keep it very simple. What's the busiest day at the Mecca bodybuilding? Saturdays are pretty busy because people are off. But I asked you, what's ideal for you to train? If it's super busy or if it's slower, like we know everyone comes back from the weekend like, oh, I'm gonna hit the gym on Monday, right? Monday, International Chest Day, whatever it is. People get back in the gym, they start training because they might have fallen off on the weekend because they partied or they did things that didn't fit their schedule into their routine of being at their job, then going to the gym, or going to the gym and then going to their job. I think that, I think a lot of people, look at that and they say, I think Gold's Gym Venice is super busy on Monday, right? And Fridays it kind of dies down, right?
Yeah, I would say Friday and Sunday are probably the least busy.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people, even in the bodybuilding world, took Sundays off. I mean, I know Ronnie Coleman used to take Sundays off, and to be honest, it fit whatever my schedule is. I would train the 3 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off schedule. So for me, it was like it didn't matter what days. I never had certain days. What I was pissed about when I lived in California is, and that's another reason when I moved to Vegas, I was like, oh, breath of fresh air, was I trained at Crunch Fitness at the time. It was in the Kaleidoscope Plaza. So you guys live near Mission Viejo. You'll know where I'm talking about, right off the 5 freeway. It used to be Crunch. It's LA Fitness now. And I used to train at that gym, but it would close at 4 o'clock. It wouldn't open till 7 on Sunday, and it would close at 4.
Wow.
And a lot of days I would do double split training. So a lot of times it felt like on my leg day or whatever, where I really had to get my training in that day. And I would go to the gym at 7:30 in the morning, so I was getting there just when it kind of opened, because I'd get up at like 6 in the morning. I'd walk the dog and whatever in the morning. And then I would go train, and then I would go back within 5 hours, and I had to be back before the 4 o'clock cutoff. I remember I was leaving the gym most of the time when the gym was closing. And when I came to Vegas, everything was 24 hours, 7 days a week. Like, we're not closed at all, right? And they were open on Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, you know how it is, you East Coast people, or like the gym, sometimes they close early on New Year's Eve, and then they're closed for Christmas Day. Like, we have it made in Vegas, man. Like, there's no shutdown. Some gyms are 24/7, 365. I mean, I know Steve's gym, like East Coast Mecca, they don't shut down over there either.
Wow.
And, we might have limited hours at certain venues, but like the LVAC here doesn't have limited hours. They don't have anything. It's 24/7 all year long. So ideally, like if there's one gym closed, you go to the next. I mean, I've gone on trips where I'm like, oh, I need to go train. They're like, well, the gym's closed. I'm like, what do you mean? We got to train, right? Your body doesn't say, oh, well, it's time to close down. I mean, you sleep at night and you wake up, and whatever time your body's ready to go, you're ready to go. That's your job. So I feel Dr. Zak's pain. Listen to those people. I mean, some people hate their Mondays, but Monday's a day we can get a lot of shit done, man. Like, that's my day where I'm like, I'm super excited. And listen, I can think back to those, but I chose a different life, right? I could have stayed in Massachusetts and done the routine thing, but I said, you know what? This isn't what makes me happy. So I pursued the bodybuilding thing, and people think what they want. Like, it wasn't easy for me. Like, I still moved away from my family. I was making decent money, but dude, living in California was super expensive even then. I mean, I was in I went from paying $400 a month to live to $1,400 and I said, screw this, I'm gonna buy a place. I bought a place within 6 months because I was like, I'm not gonna pay this rent and waste my money on that stuff. It made no sense to me. So I bought a condo, and once I put the money down, my payment was like $1,200 a month, and I owned it.
Yeah.
I made money on it. So that's kind of how the whole real estate thing started. But, Mondays have never been so exciting as they are to me today. So if that answers the question, like, I love Mondays, and I think, as you get older, your priorities change. I'm not out partying on the weekends. Listen, I'd love to go out and celebrate some stuff tonight. Things are great in my life, like business-wise, and just everything's kind of fallen into place.
But and I'm glad you say that, because I think it's when you do something you really like to do, you really enjoy, you're passionate about. Like you said, it's not really any day of most of the time I never know what day it is, because it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I ask Angie all the time, what day is it today?
It doesn't matter. You do what you got to do.
Time, like the time don't matter either. Like, I only have to watch time. Like, okay, when is this closing, or when can I stop making calls for this? Other than that, like, I could care less about the time. Like you said, what time are you getting up in the morning? I'm like, whenever I get up.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's going to be early. It's going to be between 6 and 7 o'clock. Normally, that's how I always wake up. No matter what time I go to bed, I can only sleep 3 hours. I'm still up at that time. But I think for us, I mean, you came last night and asked me before we went to bed what time you get. I said around 8, and about 8 o'clock I rolled out and did my morning cardio and all that stuff. And of course, we have errands and stuff we got to do during the day, but man, we're just fortunate, I think.
I know.
And you made a choice. You packed up with no money. You moved to the West Coast. You could have lived that and hated. Do you think everyone back home hates Mondays where you're from?
I'm sure. I feel bad for people who hate Mondays.
Why?
Because they don't have to.
you got to make the best of it, man.
You have choices to make in life, and just make choices that make
I
you
know what,
happy.
I still get excited about Mondays because I know, okay, well, I even say I'm going to start fresh on certain things, right? Like the whole week is ahead, right? You have that many work days. Like I'm all about business now, right? So I'm looking at, okay, I'm going to have a successful business week, right? And that kind of builds the whole rapport around everything else. Like I loved having like the challenges of business because I don't have the challenges of bodybuilding anymore.
Yeah.
What drove me to be the best bodybuilder was the challenges, man. Like if it was easy, I would have been bored in 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I get bored way too easy. My attention span is like 0. You know, if I can't get totally, it's like Angie says all the time, let's go see a movie and this and that. And my brain can get wrapped around something for like maximum like 10, 15 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, I got to do something else, you know? So I really have to be interested or be in the right mindset to do things like out of my element. My element is working, going to the gym, and you know, that's pretty much it.
That's what makes you happy.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about that yesterday. Like, what would you change in your life today that would make you happier?
Nothing. If you paid me $1 million, I said that many times. If you paid me $1 million, I would still do tomorrow what I'm doing today, and I think that's good.
I know, because you're a full-time bodybuilder.
I just love it. I just love what.
Do you consider yourself a full-time bodybuilder? Have you caught on to this whole thing?
No. No, but what I was telling you is that I just really feel, even though we work a lot, I just feel like I have a lot of freedom. I shoot when I want, I schedule when I want, I edit when I want, as long as the work gets done.
Yeah, but all you care about is that workout every day, right?
Well, it's part of it. That's why, to me,
you love the Mecca bodybuilding. What if you can't train at the Mecca bodybuilding?
Dude, that'd be hard. I would have to go a few times a week for sure. I wouldn't have to go every day like I'm doing now. I guess I could go like 3-4 days a week, but not to go at all.
What do you think about these people that were training at the Mecca for so long, bro?
And they leave?
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. Because how can you train anywhere else after that? I don't know. It's the motivation from that place.
I know, but what is the motivation?
It's the aura the place have. All knowing.
Yeah, but not many pros train there anymore.
I know, but you know they have. Arnold, Lou, you, just all the champions from the past. Flex Wheeler, you know, Dillett, all these guys. The place has a lot of history. No other place have that. That's what it is. You look on the walls, you see all those people. It's inspiring.
But do you think the equipment's the best equipment in the world?
Nah, Steve and Steve Weinberger can give Golds a run for his money as far as equipment and stuff. But
you know what I like about it? You walk in the front door, and it's open to the back, right? They have 2 open rooms. Actually,
3.
All rooms are open in the back.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about it, because the air is coming through. When you come through that front door, right?
There's always a
open the
breeze.
door,
Yeah.
And the breeze comes in,
Yeah.
and you're by the beach, right?
Yeah.
Because we can go to Hollywood, and it sucks.
I know.
It sucks because it's so much hotter. I mean, it's like being. I mean, they say the valley or whatever. It gets 100 degrees out there by the beach. You're never gonna get that brutal heat, right?
No.
Because you got the ocean breeze. And I lived there for 6-7 years. But when you walk in that gym, man, like you're like, okay, it's time to get this job done. And when you start, like, I don't think I ever walked in Gold's Venice like, fuck, I need to train. And
you never have a bad
sucks.
workout. Yeah.
Like, there's always like, because someone either comes up in the, like, I might be like, oh, I'm tired, and then a fan comes up and like, oh my God, Jay Cutler, you know, and they take a picture. I'm like, okay, this is why I do what I do,
That's
right?
right?
So that's why I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just told you I need to fix at Gold's Venice, and I'm not a full-time bodybuilder like yourself. I mean, I just need to go train. So I'm going to go to the Cal coming up next weekend and support all the pros and the amateurs, and hopefully get to see Mannion and Tyler and all those guys.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
And film some more content out there. So stay tuned to our Mecca bodybuilding, full-time bodybuilding in the house.
Jay Cutler.